waited 100 years, I'd wait 1,000,000 more for you. Nothing prepared me for the privilege of being yours would do.
First of all, I want to say happy birthday. How cool is this? Your birthday. We're celebrating your life. You know, in a few days, 5 to be exact, we're going to be celebrating the life of Jesus. It's something that my passion is to see us do every day for 365 days. But today, the 20th of December, 2013, we're gonna celebrate you just getting flipping old. I mean, how crazy is that? 30! That really just means I'm getting old, so that sucks. Carrie, your life is something that is so worth celebrating. And you're gonna find that that just doesn't come from me, it comes from a lot of people. What we decided to do this year is a little bit of something different. Because as exciting as it is to celebrate your life, we're actually kind of excited that your life, when you turn 30, involves somebody else who loves Jesus just as much as you do. What I've done is I've asked a bunch of people, a bunch of friends, people who know you, some who know you better than others, a few questions about yourself. And I think you're gonna be shocked to see the answers. Somehow, some way, I became even more proud of you than I was already. So, enjoy.
When I think about Carrie and Weston as a couple, I think of two people that just get it. Not only do they get each other, but they get what it's all about.
I do think that Carrie and Weston are the perfect match for a couple because they not only do they look good together, they both complement each other a lot.
I think they're a great couple. I think they complement each other in a lot of ways. A match per se, I don't know.
Okay, so are they a match? Let's see. Well, Carrie really likes vegetables and Weston likes to eat steak. I think Carrie and Weston are definitely a match because they seem to always show up in the same like really bizarre like acid wash tie-dye jeans.
I think they're definitely a match because Tammy and I prayed for Carrie to find a godly person, a godly man. And God brought her that person.
They are adorable. Yes, their clothing all matches exactly the same. If you pick them out of a crowd, you could totally tell the two of them are together.
Well, they're just a precious little couple. I think they're a perfect match. She couldn't ask for a better one, and he couldn't ask for a better one.
Carrie and Weston as a couple, as a match. When you look at Carrie and Weston, it's kind of like a really, really, really good-looking fossil ad.
I absolutely think without a doubt that Wes and Carrie are an incredible couple. They just reflect God's love and their chemistry is unmatched, and they're truly a light. They're a really cool couple. So anyone that doubts that needs to get their head on straight.
Both the biggest goofballs I've ever met, but they complement each other. So yeah, they are 100% a match. They dress the same, they look the same, they act the same.
London, what do you think about Auntie Ree and Weston? Okay, next question.
I think they're a great couple. They're real natural together, and they're an obvious match because I don't know too many people who could stare that intently at one another and be perfectly comfortable with it.
And with a pretty.
I think that Carrie and Weston are a fantastic couple and a wonderful match. The reason being they complement each other, they refine each other and bring out the best in each other.
Are Carrie and Weston a couple? Absolutely. Are they a couple? Of course they're a couple.
When I think about Carrie and Weston as a couple, and are they a match? I kind of think about that movie, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, and where she puts together that scrapbook.
Yes, I used Photoshop at work today to composite our faces together to see what our kids would look like. Our family album! And this is our first child, Benny Jr.
And says, look, honey, this is what our future kids are gonna look like. I think about them just, it's so natural with them.
It is brown.
I think Carrie and Weston are a great couple. They're both very goofy, and you can tell that they can be themselves around each other. I think they are an excellent match.
Well, I think Carrie and Weston are a perfect match. They love Jesus and they love each other, and I'm excited about what God is going to do through them as a couple.
I think Carrie and Weston are a great couple.
I think Carrie and Weston are not so much of a match as far as like one is like so laid back and the other is like waking up at 7 a.m. with a list ready to go. But I do think they are a match with as far as styles and their passion for the Lord.
I think they're a match. They seem to be very compatible and they seem to be very much in love.
I think they're a cute couple.
What I think of Weston and Carrie as a couple is I think they're perfect for each other. They both have a love for God. They're both strong-hearted and have the will to get through stuff together. Whenever they have problems, they solve it out right there and then. They don't wait.
Well, I've never seen them fight, and they help each other grow spiritually.
I think that Weston and Carrie are a great match. They suit each other perfectly, just in every single way. Their style and their humor, which is very surprising, actually.
You know, I'm gonna have to agree with Cody on this. Vegetarian, meat lover match, no, I don't know. I mean, how do you even eat in that household?
For them to be together, to me, they could be a powerful couple for God. And I've seen it happen with my own child. I've seen it with the groups that they have done. I just think it would be awesome.
I think about Carrie and Weston as a couple, and are they a match? I think they're a marvelous couple. You know, being Weston's dad, and you know, it's something I've thought about a long, long time throughout his life, is what kind of person is he going to find? What kind of woman is he going to find? And you know, we just thank God every minute and every day for Carrie, and we just think she's perfect in every way.
I think that Carrie and Weston are a perfect couple. They are perfect in every way for each other.
Actually, I think they are a great match. They love the Lord individually. They seek the Lord individually. And they just have a passion for life, and life being God and life being Jesus. And that on their own is equally yoked as they are. Man, I can find a better match.
The thing that stands out to me about Carrie and Weston is the fact that they love people, they love each other, and they love the Lord, and they show it in everything they do.
Their clothes.
Their clothes.
Their clothes.
Yellow woman's jacket.
It's a little weird. I don't know, sometimes it's not too bad, but you know, I wouldn't do it myself.
Weston has more chest hair than any person I've ever seen in my life, and it's always coming out of his shirt.
One thing that stands out to me about Carrie and Weston, besides their clothes, is their joy.
What stands out to me about Carrie and Weston is the fact that they love the Lord with all their heart and all their might.
In their relationship, even when it first began, their love for each other didn't only grow within their relationship, but it also grew for the Lord individually.
Something that stands out with Carrie and Weston to me is their heart. They have such a strong heart for people that need stuff.
The thing that stands out to me about Carrie and Weston is that their relationship is not exclusive, and Carrie makes it a point to become friends with people who are associated with Weston.
Carrie always gives it to the Lord. Any praise you give her, she immediately gives to God. and Weston is pretty much follows suits.
To me, they're so much alike in their mannerisms, their likes, their love for God, everything they do, the things they like to do, their clothes, the way they dress. I'd never thought Weston would find someone that we liked, that we thought a lot of, that would dress like he does and act like he does.
Something that stands out to me about Carrie and Weston is how unique and sort of funky they are together as a couple. They each have their own individual style, but yet they mesh completely. They're made perfect for each other.
The thing that stands out to me about Carrie and Weston is their comfortability with each other. They love to play around, but can also be serious, and just seem to really enjoy being each other's best friends.
Definitely their passion for everything they do, that they don't do anything lightly or tamely or mildly. That stands out about both of them individually, so certainly about both of them as a couple.
Their love for the Lord and just how that's their passion.
She loves him and he loves her. I see that. As Christian couple, I think God's really got something that he wants them to do.
That undeniably they keep God first. That's what stands out most in their relationship. It's really cool how they set an example for other couples as well with that.
Happy birthday to me.
Carrie and Weston are just always so on fire for God that it's unbelievable.
Just their devotion to each other and devotion to the Lord and the work of the church.
Their passion for the Lord together.
Something that stands out to me about Carrie and Weston is their love for the Lord.
One of the main things that stands out to me about Carrie and Weston is that they are very equally yoked in their love for God.
They're good Christian young people, and you don't see that much today.
Something that stands out to me about Carrie and Weston is their ability to just have fun.
For ministry in the future for Carrie and Weston, I could see Weston making electronic music for Carrie to do Jesus-oriented yoga too.
I visualize them being in the mission field somewhere.
As far as what can I see them doing in the ministry, I can see them doing, anything from leading a youth group in a small church to a big church to a rural church.
Gosh, they could build a powerhouse. Their energy, their love for the Lord, their love for people. I just think it could be incredible what they could do together.
To being on the mission field, being in Jamaica,
I think maybe in the future, Weston and Carrie could possibly, maybe lead a couples group or something.
South America, Central America, any Africa.
Oh, ministry. I think the sky's the limit.
I think the sky's the limit. I'm praying that God will let them continue to serve together at the refuge, but I believe God's going to use them in a great way.
I see Carrie and Weston in ministry together, doing whatever God desires for them to do. I think their relationship with Him is so strong and so passionate that they'll follow Him regardless.
One thing that I will say that stands out to me for them and what I will see them doing in ministry in the future is whatever God wants.
I hope they win many souls, many people to the Lord.
I could see them going anywhere in the world and just bringing the love of Jesus, and through their different gifts, they would create something that could reach a lot of people.
I think they'll do a fine job because they're both Christian and they want to bring the Christian part of their life out.
I could see them working with other passionate people. And it's easy to see where they fit in youth ministry for that reason now, but as long as people stay passionate, it won't matter the age group.
I could see them just completely designing and creating just this awesome outreach, missionary something. But I could also see them being like a Tammy and Tony, for sure.
Oh gosh.
In the future, I could see Carrie and Weston in ministry together. I could see them in a band together.
It's open-ended because I think they could do so many different things.
Stop staring at me!
I think a great ministry opportunity for Carrie and Weston in the future is going to be when they have kids, and you know, Weston's like doing cannonballs off the roof into like the neighbor's pool, and Carrie's freaking out, and then there's the whole moment of, you know, Dad says it's okay, but Mom says it's not. They're definitely going to have to work through that one.
Yes, they do really well with the kids, I think, but I think they would be really well in mission work together.
I think that they really are great with teenagers, especially our youth group, because they just connect really well with us, and they are really good at looking past the fact that we're young and really just delving deep into helping us with our relationship with God.
I think in the future, since they're together right now doing the youth, I think they could be doing something with the youth together later on in life together.
If Carrie and Weston were going to do something with ministry in the future, I see them doing something having to do with missions and having to do something that may not even be around here.
They could really be missionaries even in another country. I really do, because she's gifted and God's given her that gift to be a missionary.
One thing I could really see them doing is leading other couples to show the value of putting God first in a relationship.
London, did you see any signs of Auntie Ree and Weston getting together? You know,
We had been forewarned by Kyle that there was a new person coming to church.
So I actually told them that Colin Farrell was coming to church, and not to look his way because they were just going to lust and it wasn't going to be pretty, and I was going to get offended and Cody was going to feel lesser than.
So we kind of had our eye out to see who this person was that Kyle was saying was coming to church. So when Weston comes to church, Delana and I's first response is, this guy could be a guy for Carrie. So the first day he came to church, had on his little pants and his outfit and his vest. And I remember Delana and I watching after church to see if Carrie actually got to meet him.
Yeah. The very first day that Weston showed up to church, Carrie just ran right over there and sparked up a conversation with him.
We were like, oh great, you know, they got to meet each other. That's really good. Maybe that'll, you know, spark interest. Well then like 10 minutes later we looked over and they're still talking.
Me and Ashley and Shannon and probably about 4 other people were snickering at each other and going, yeah, that's gonna happen soon.
And then like 45 minutes later, Delana and I are over there going, okay, they're still over there talking. We knew like there was something going on there because all of a sudden Carrie had this light on her eyes and she was over there laughing and talking. And
I remember the first time that Weston came to our church, he was wearing these jeans, I think, that looked like the pants that John Travolta had in Saturday Night Fever, combined with like some of his little sister's pants. It was really weird. And he also had on a button-up shirt, and again, the whole chest hair thing was happening. And he also was wearing a yellow women's blazer. And yeah, yellow women's blazer, that's weird.
I did not see any early signs or hints of Carrie and Weston getting together.
Carrie saw him and ran over and was like, you know, doing the hair thing, you know, like the hair, and all like, and I remember being like, I don't get it.
As soon as Weston walked in the church, I saw that long flowing hair, and I knew it. I called it. That day I walked home, I said, you're gonna date him, aren't you? And she was like, no, I'm not. Yeah, right, I knew it. Morgan knew it, everybody knew it. They called it, so yeah, definitely.
I didn't see any signs of Weston and Carrie getting together.
No, I didn't see any early hints of Carrie and Weston getting together.
I first saw Weston. I knew
with his long hair and the fact that he played ukulele, that Carrie would be totally smitten over him. And I knew that Weston's sense of style and his urge and passion for the Lord, Carrie would be smitten over him.
No, actually I didn't meet Weston till after they had been dating.
First time I saw Weston, my first impression was, boy, he'd make a good Jesus in a Passion Play somewhere. That was the first thing I thought. But my second thought was, boy, he would really go good with Carrie.
The first time that I heard about Carrie was from my mom, and I was at school, so all I got was a text saying, hey, Weston likes this girl, he's gonna ask her out, and a picture of Carrie.
You know what? I saw early signs of Carrie and Weston getting together. In fact, we encouraged it. Carrie and Weston seems like they would be a good couple.
Thought about it, talked about it, wished about it, and so was glad when it happened.
We were going through the guys at the church and kind of saying, okay, this one should go with this one, and this one should go with that. So we paired Katie and Wes, or Katie, not Katie. She's gonna kill me. Oh my gosh. Can you cut this?
Early signs, I didn't see any, but when I knew that when he said this is the one, and she was the one.
Well, I knew Weston's heart back in the spring last year. When he started going to the church, he came home and he said, Mom, there is the cutest girl at the church.
I actually didn't know they were dating until a couple months after it happened, so I found out through the grapevine.
I was meeting Weston at the church. We were planning to do something musical or something gear related, I don't remember. And I parked and I thought his car was there, and I went inside and I waited a few minutes and I didn't see him. And so I walked around and he wasn't anywhere, and I was like, I thought he was here. So I poked my head out the back door, and they were standing close together having a clearly intentful discussion, and both heads sort of looked over awkwardly at me, and I was like, hi, awkwardly back, and I popped back in, and Weston came in and was like, so you saw that? And I was like, yeah, and he's like, yeah, nobody really knows yet, but I did go home and tell Kristen something cute is going on.
You know, I actually never did see signs of them wanting to be together, but I kind of hit me from left field, and it was the best thing that has ever hit me from left field, because I couldn't be any happier to see a couple growing together. I can't imagine this couple not getting married.
Hi. I want you to think about where we're at right now, the building. We are in the building that we first met almost 2 years ago. And I think that's significant. I think that's very significant. I think that's something that we should just cherish and we should remember and relish, because I mean, think, we didn't meet in a bar. We didn't meet at a rock concert. We didn't meet on the street somewhere, but we met in a church. And we met in this church. And that's significant because it represents a lot. It represents our focus. It represents what we stand for, what we believe in as individuals, but also as a couple, as a pair. It represents our focus on God first. And in my opinion, the only way that it could even be possible that you and I be together is if God was the center, if God was the focus, if God orchestrated the whole thing. That's the only way it could be possible, because I'll tell you, guys like me don't end up with girls like you. It doesn't happen unless God. Girls like you're just better than guys like me. That's simply put, that's all there is to say. And I won't ever stop saying it. So that, in and of itself, is proof. First, it's proof that God exists, but it's also proof that God is good, and that God has a plan, and that God has a purpose. He has a purpose for us together. And I don't know what that plan is specifically, but I do know that it's going to be great, and it's going to be designed specifically for us. And the impact that we have on this world together it's going to be an unstoppable force. And I'll tell you what, I'm most excited to share that experience and that purpose and goal in life with you. So last year we made a video for you about what people like most about you and what people, how people get inspired by Carrie. And it was great, and I know that meant a lot to you. But this year I wanted to do something a little different for you, something that focuses on us, you and me together. So I wanted you to hear different people's opinions and what people thought and what people felt about you and I together as a couple. And I wanted that to happen because I feel like it's important. It's good to hear and good to know what other people think, because we're so confident about each other and how God has purposed us to be together. And hearing what other people think and feel about what we're so confident in just strengthens that confidence, I think, because we are surrounded by people that we love and people that we care about, and those people's influence on our lives is huge. So I wanted you to hear what they had to share. See, today's a special day. It's your birthday, and it's a day to celebrate. It's a day to celebrate your life. It's a day for me to celebrate your life and celebrate our lives crossing in our paths, meeting. But there's also more. There's more to celebrate than just your life. I feel that today is an opportunity to celebrate not just your life, but our life together. So there's something that I've been wanting to ask you. But I can't do it here like this. So just stay right there.